A new AI agent called Clawdbot, also called Moltbot, just broke the internet in the last 2 days. China just approved the import of Nvidia H200 for ByteDance and Alibaba, and Microsoft just unveiled their own Maia 200 chip to destroy Nvidia's monopoly. The Godfather of AI, Yann LeCun, just issued a massive warning. He says the entire industry is marching toward a dead end. SoftBank is investing up to $30 billion in OpenAI. Pinterest will lay off 15% of its workforce due to AI. And also, we have a lot of open source AI models that you can run on your local computer for free and unlimited times, like this AI that can animate multiple characters from your reference image. And a lot of interesting stuff is in this video, so let's jump right in. First up, let's talk about the biggest geopolitical shift of the month. China just officially gave the green light to import the first batch of Nvidia's H200 AI chips. This is absolutely huge. If you've been following the geopolitics of AI, you know that the US has had strict export controls to stop China from getting its hands on top-tier computers. Usually, they are stuck with the low-efficiency H20 chips or domestic alternatives like Huawei. But according to Reuters, Beijing has approved these specific H200 shipments. Why does this matter? Well, the H200 is a total beast. If Chinese labs like DeepSeek or Alibaba get their hands on this hardware, their training speeds are going to skyrocket. Next up, shots fired in the great GPU war. Microsoft just unveiled the Maia 200, and this is their latest custom AI chip designed to break the Nvidia monopoly. If you've been following the industry, you know that the Nvidia tax is real. Everyone is tired of fighting for H100s. Well, the Maia 200 is Microsoft's answer. This is a direct competitor to Nvidia. They claim this will significantly reduce their reliance on buying hardware from Nvidia. Basically, Microsoft is building their own supply chain so they don't get bottlenecked. Now, you obviously can't buy this for your home gaming rig, but if you are an enterprise using Azure to train or run models, this means your inference costs could go down drastically. Anyways, if you're interested in the technical details, I'll link to the official announcement in the description below. Next, reports just leaked that SoftBank is planning to invest up to $30 billion in OpenAI. If you thought the AI funding craze was slowing down, think again. SoftBank is reportedly back, and they are planning to drop a nuclear bomb of cash into OpenAI. This is absolutely insane. Just for context, OpenAI's last funding round was already the biggest in history at $6.6 billion. This potential investment is nearly 5 times that amount. Anyways, the deal isn't finalized yet, but there is a dark side to this cash flow. Pinterest just cut 15% of its staff. This isn't because they are going bankrupt or losing users. They explicitly stated they are doing this to redirect resources into AI. This is exactly what we saw with Amazon earlier. Companies are aggressively swapping out human payroll for compute budgets. They are pivoting hard to automate their visual discovery algorithms and ad systems. And this leads to the dead end warning. Next up, we have some massive drama involving one of the godfathers of AI. Yann LeCun just dropped a bombshell explanation on why he officially quit Meta. He warned that the entire AI industry is getting limited to LLMs.
The AI industry is completely LLM-pilled, as they say. And in Silicon Valley, everybody is working on the same thing. They're all digging the same trench. They're stealing each other's engineers so that they can't afford to do something different, because if they start going on a tangent, they're going to fall behind the other guys. And so they're all doing the same thing. And it's one big reason I left Meta, right? Because Meta also became LLM-pilled, with sort of recent reshuffling. And it's fine, it's a strategic decision that maybe makes sense for them. It's just not what I'm interested in. And so I cannot imagine that we can build agentic systems without those systems having an ability to predict in advance what the consequences of their actions are going to be. The way we act in the world is that we know we can predict the consequences of our actions. And that's what allows us to plan.
Next up, we have a brutal warning for every software engineer. Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, just dropped a terrifying prediction. He went on record saying we are just 6 to 12 months away from AI models being able to replace the majority of coding tasks. Anyways, if you're a developer, you absolutely need to read this.
We are now, in terms of the models that write code, I have engineers within Anthropic who say, I don't write any code anymore. I just let the model write the code. I edit it. I do the things around it. I don't know, we might be 6 to 12 months away. from when the model is doing most, maybe all of what SWEs do end to end. And then it's a question of how fast does that loop close?
Next up, Google just dropped a super useful quality of life update for the Gemini app. If you've ever been annoyed by how long it takes for an AI to type out a long answer, they're rolling out a new answer now. But while Gemini is generating a response, you can just hit this button and it will immediately spit out the final answer without finishing the whole animation. It's perfect for when you don't need a full essay, you just need the info. Next, a man from New York tried to use an AI-generated avatar to speak for him in a real court hearing. The video showed an AI-created lawyer arguing his case. The judge stopped the playback as soon as she saw the speaker was not a real attorney and clearly told him artificial intelligence cannot replace licensed counsel in the courtroom. The man said he used the AI because he struggles with speech, but the court rejected the idea and made him argue in person instead, highlighting limits on how AI can be used in legal proceedings.
May it please the court. I come here today a humble pro se before a panel of 5 distinguished justices.
Is this, hold on. Is that counsel for the case?
I generated that.
I'm sorry?
I generated that. That is not a real person.
Okay, it would have been nice to know that when you made your application. You did not tell me that, sir. I received the application. And you have appeared before this court and been able to testify verbally in the past. You have gone to my clerk's office and held verbal conversations with our staff for over 30 minutes, okay? I don't appreciate being misled. So either you are suffering from an ailment that prevents you from being able to articulate, or you don't. You are not going to use this courtroom as a launch for your business, sir. So if you are able to shut that off. If you want to have oral argument time, you may stand up and give it to me.
Next up, we have the most viral tool this week that just broke the internet. You might have heard of a tool called Clawdbot. It blew up on GitHub and Reddit. Now it is officially renamed to Moltbot. Here is why everyone is installing this. It is a local AI agent. See, the problem with most AI agents right now is that they are passive. You have to open the app and prompt them to do anything. But Clawdbot is designed to be proactive. It basically integrates with your messaging apps, and it can send you summaries or start a conversation based on triggers you set. It's like having a personal secretary that actually checks in on you. It runs locally on your machine, so you pay 0 monthly fees. So my question for you is, would you trust a proactive agent like Moltbot to text you on WhatsApp, or is that too creepy? Next up, Anthropic just dropped a massive update for Claude. They launched interactive MCP apps. This is huge. It lets you use tools like Excel, Slack, and Figma directly inside the chat window. You don't have to switch tabs anymore. You can just tell Claude, update this spreadsheet, or send this to Slack, and it connects directly. This turns Claude from a chatbot into a real coworker that can actually do things. Next up, if you write code, you need to see this. Cursor just added a feature called Subagents. Usually, AI does one thing at a time. It writes code, then it stops. Now, Cursor spins up multiple agents. One agent writes the code, a second agent fixes the bugs, a third agent writes the documentation. They all work in parallel. It is like having a team of 3 junior developers working for you at once. It is incredibly fast. And finally, the open source world is moving fast. StepFun just dropped Step 3 VL10B, and this tiny model is punching way above its weight. This is a 10 billion parameter multimodal model. Usually, models this small are pretty limited, but it scored a staggering 94.43%. To put that in perspective, that actually beats Gemini 2.5 Pro and rivals top-tier models that are 10 to 20 times its size. You can actually run this locally. It requires about 24 gigabytes of VRAM, so if you have an RTX 4090, you are good to go. Anyways, if you want to test this out yourself, I've linked the Hugging Face repo in the description below. Next up, if you're into character animation, you need to see this. This is called CoDance, and it's an absolute beast for generating dancing videos from just a photo. Now, we've seen a ton of animation tools, but they usually fall apart with full body movements. The legs get twisted, the hands warp, and the consistency is just not there for longer clips. Well, CoDance fixes this. It uses what they call a 3D-aware pipeline. Basically understands your character's body in 3D space before it animates them. Look at these examples. You just feed it a character image and an audio clip, and it generates these super coherent, full-length dance videos. Doesn't matter if it's an anime character or a realistic one. The motion is incredibly fluid, and the best part, this is fully open source. The team has already dropped the GitHub repo and a Hugging Face space for you to try it out right now. If you're interested in generating some dance videos, I'll link to the main project page in the description below. Next up, this one is pretty wild. You need to see OmniTransfer. Now, we've seen a ton of these motion transfer tools, but they usually fall apart when the character in your photo doesn't perfectly match the person in the motion video. You get all kinds of weird distortions and ghosting artifacts. Well, OmniTransfer fixes that. This is a new open source model that is insanely good at disentangling characters' appearance from their motion. Look at these cross-domain examples, and if you compare this side by side with other models, the difference is clearly visible. OmniTransfer has way fewer artifacts, and the consistency is just a lot better. Anyways, if you're interested in seeing all the demos, I'll link to the main project page in the description below. And that sums up another absolutely insane week in AI. I'm really curious about your take on this. Which piece of news was your favorite? And you have to let me know in the comments. Are you installing Moltbot and letting an AI proactively text you? Or is that a hard pass? As always, if you enjoyed this video, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.